Do you feel pressure to be constantly on top of your game? That pressure might feel something like, I need to always be doing something. I need to be constantly producing or constantly achieving. It might show up as burning the candle at both ends, getting up really early, going to bed late. It might be about packing your day with activity after activity after activity. This mode of living has been promoted for quite some time, and I'm actually a bit concerned about it. It's built on some expectations that life is always going on an upward trajectory, or at the very least, that everything is on a stable, even keel, that you can keep going and keep trucking on. Those expectations are built on assumptions that one, you are in full control of everything that's in your life, and two, that you have infinite energy to be able to maintain all of that style of living. If you're honest with yourself, you realize that that's not actually true. We all have days where we have got loads of energy to be able to go and engage with life. And then there are days when our energy levels are just not where we want them to be. And so our resulting productivity and our resulting activity is less because we've got less to give. That's actually normal. Rather than a straight line always going upward, our lives are more like a bit of a sine wave. Things are going in waves. We have energy, we use energy, we need to regain energy. We have energy, we use energy, we need to regain energy. And that's really, really typical for the way that we operate. Once we start trying to move out of that system, we create things that are going to work against our prosperous life. If you're constantly pushing yourself to be on point and at the top of your game, you're going to be requiring a very, very consistent level of energy output that isn't actually being replenished. The whole purpose of the rhythm of life is that you have time to recharge as well as time to act. If you haven't built in recharge times, or if you're minimizing your recharge times, or if you're pushing yourself beyond your own limits, there's going to be a consequence at some point. You can't constantly give out without being recharged. You'll eventually get to a point where you'll have an empty tank. And the mentality that you're always going to be on this upward trajectory puts you in a position where you are creating the conditions for burnout. If you know yourself well enough, you know what your limits are. You can put boundaries in place. You can make sure that you are giving what you can and not going beyond, and that you're building in space so that you can recharge. You're not going to be giving the best of yourself if you're constantly giving. And if nothing else, I'd like you to just sit with that. If you're a giver, if you're a person that wants to give, you need to pay attention to what your energy levels are so that you can give out of what you have, not give out of what you don't have. So how does this relate to your prosperous life? Well, one of the 5 pillars of prosperity that I talk about is rest and recreation. And that's not just about leisure time for the sake of having leisure time. It's actually really vital for your recharging. Rest doesn't have to be just sleeping. Rest can be just a stepping away from all of those activities or enough of those activities that drain you and giving yourself time to recharge, to regain energy. Every individual will do this in different ways. There are different things that will recharge you. For some, it's about spending time in nature. For others, it's about spending time with people. For some, it's about being by yourself. For some, it's about engaging in a community type of things. For some, there is an activity that's just done for the sake of activity and not for the sake of achieving anything. For some, it's about not doing any activity at all. So what it looks like for you is not the point, it's what's the effect. Is the effect that you feel rested, you feel recharged, you feel able to then re-engage with that active side of your life? Do you have the energy to be able to do what you need to do and then have energy left over to actually live in the way that you want to live? We don't live to work. I mean, work is an important part of our life, and we need times where we step away from that. I'd like to encourage you to think about that. Is there a pressure for you to be constantly on top of your game? Is that helping you? Do you have enough rest points for you to recharge? If you're not sure or if you'd like to explore that, talk to me about how I can help. I'm Neville from Sinistore Counselling and Coaching, and I'm your personal prosperity and performance strategist, helping you to create and maintain the life you want.